Back, everybody, to the Birdies and Bourbon Show. We're excited to have Jeff with us from. So there's some abbreviations going on in there. I'm gonna give it to you like I see it. The Rochester, New York Elite Barrel Pickers Club. How'd I do?
That works. That's good. That's good.
Very cool. Very
nice. Clearly, I haven't had enough to drink yet, but we're going to work on that. So Jeff was kind enough to share some of his picks, and just so you kind of know the setup of what we're going to do on the show. And I think and Jeff's at a store, and we'll get into some of those details. But Jeff's kind enough to come and share some of his time. And for those of you that are wondering, and barrel picks are very popular right now, and they're doing lots of cool shit. They're putting like these crazy stickers on them, and plays on movies, etc. Plays on COVID. There's all kinds of things out there. But we're kind of going to get a little. I don't know if you want to say behind the scenes. I'm probably going to start at like barrel picking, for dummies, which is Dan. No, and me. Mm-hmm. But kind of, how did you get started? What made you want to get started? And were there any reservations? Is it like, oh shit, this is too much for me to take on? Lots of different things. But so just so you know, so we're going to go through, and all of these are barrel picks by Jeff and his club. So we're going to start with Smoke Wagon, which is damn fantastic. It just got released. I haven't had yours yet, but I did have just the traditional pour or blend, and it's really good. We're going to go for the Four Roses OESF coming in at 124.6. And then, I send samples to people all the time. And so here's what I got. So for those of you that are not watching on the video, it says rum. Okay.
Yes,
I'm like, I don't know. Is he like trying to dupe me on something? Are we going to pick what style this is? I don't know what's happening. All I know is the other expressions, it was stated what they are. We had proofs on them, and then we get rum. So Jeff, let's get into this thing, man. Let's do some tasting.
Perfect. Let's, first I want to go back before we taste. I want to talk to you about like one thing that you've mentioned, like how did you get into this?
Yeah, sure.
I was tired of people chasing Bland's. I moved to Rochester about 4.5 years ago, and all I heard was Blanton's, Elmer T. Lee, BTAC, and I was just like, okay, this is crazy. Like there's better things out there. Don't get me wrong, they provide a good product, but is it worth chasing and like standing in lines? No, I think. And then when I had 30 guys, we had a local group here, Rochester Whiskey Enthusiasts. We had a local group. I was like, I'm going to spin off of you guys. I want to do my own thing. I want to do a private pit group. And when I confronted a store, because legally I can't sell, I have to find someone that we can reserve bottles from.
Yep.
And I approached the store and I said, hey, I think we have 30 guys. Let's do something. The first barrel was Elijah Craig. Well, it took about 20 weeks to get in. And during that time, he said, well, I picked the Four Roses. It was just Al Young and I. Do you want that for the 30 guys? And I reached out to the guys and said, hey, do you guys want a barrel picked by Al Young? It was the Chappelle sticker one. Everybody was going crazy about it. And it sold out in seconds. So I was like, wow, like 30 of us just did this. I think the yield was like 168, or I can't remember off the top of my head. I was like, man, I think we have something here. And I know, and I always like to state them, I'll shout them out. Prav Sarif out of Washington, D.C. I know him very well. And this is kind of how I started the group, is basically what he was doing. And he does his own thing. I do my own thing. And, to this date now I'm at, I think, 350 members and 100 barrels picked throughout this year. 2021 and 2020, we did 48.
Wow.
But it was just all focused based on there's better stuff out there than the allocated stuff everybody's chasing. The Four Roses I gave you is probably, I've done 8 picks of Four Roses, all different recipes, all blind. I can go in line. The Smoke Wagon was the good, the bag, and the ugly. It was an 8-year that just came in. The Mike Tyson that you guys have. And then I'll save the rum for later.
Yeah. We got some big news coming with that rum, I hear. So,
but besides this rum, I have other big news. This rum, it's my top 3 picks out of, I think 64 have been released in 2 years since July 12th of 2018.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's top 3 or top 4, definitely.
Wow. So hold on. So Jeff, let me back up for a minute, because we're going to give the rum its due time. That's going to be a big one. I've got a feeling. Perfect. So let's say for a novice or amateur like Dan and myself, I wouldn't say I'm good at drinking, but I like drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd back that up.
and let's just, let's say, as the show says, right, Birdies and Bourbon, I've got a group of guys I like to play golf with, and we take annual golf tournaments a year, which, I'm kind of scratching my, going, well, wait a minute, that might be a good idea for a group of guys that play golf and get together a few times a year. You got kind of some memorabilia there. Now there's a monetary investment, and I don't know that we need to spend too much time on that. I mean, you can Google and you can find all the in the weeds kind of shit on the stuff. But as far as like getting to know, so your first pick was Elijah Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you spun off and you said, hey, I'm going to go do my own thing. And you've kind of had, I don't know if you would consider, I didn't catch the gentleman's name in DC, but is he a mentor or just someone that you kind of followed and
I kind of followed. So I lived in DC for 10 years and Prav's name was all over the map in DC. And I knew he started Prav's Picks. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I never thought I would get to where I'm at now. And it's crazy. I mean, the local community in Rochester is just, they're hungry for bourbon, whiskey, rums, Armagnacs, potentially tequila, potentially gin. They're hungry for just different things rather than a good bourbon drinking glass. I mean, but Prav, I hate to say it, but he definitely inspired me to, pick up a notch and try to figure out the community of where I was at the time. And that happened to be Rochester, New York. And, I see what he's doing with 1,800 members. I wanted to kind of be a little bit exclusive. I'm a country club kind of guy. I've played golf since I was 3, tried to play I played on the NGA Hooters tour with a bunch of guys and mini tours, and that got quit. That got X'd pretty quick with the economy in 2008 and 9. And then I came back to DC and worked, and then I moved to Rochester, and then I found out this little hobby. And
I hope we schedule this for 2 hours, because there's a shitload of questions that we're going to have to get into.
I'm good.
All right. So you settled on Elijah Craig to begin with. Right. I don't mean settled, but you elected to go with Elijah Craig.
It was cheap. It was 25. I think it was like $27.99 a bottle, and you have to deal with 100. I think it was 196 was the yield on that first one. At 30 guys, I'm not going big time for the first one. You don't know what's gonna. And then when people are like, "Wow, I want 20 bottles. I want 30," I'm like, "Well, thanks for." And then everybody got caught on. With the group. And
so Elijah Craig was that was your gateway pick.
Yes, sir.
and now
the Four Roses came in before the Elijah.
Oh, wow.
Because we waited.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's the problem when you're dealing with the 3-tiered system with distributors is it's the waiting game. We were promised something in October. Right. We still haven't received it. So, it's not the distiller. It's the distributor. That's the rub. Or I mean, it can work both ways, but 9 times out of 10, it's the distributor, because who knows?
Yeah. So how did you approach the store? So for the first pick, Rochester, you've decided on Elijah Craig prior to approaching the store, correct?
I did not. Okay. I asked him what made sense financially, because if this went wrong, what is he okay with, putting him back on the shelf?
Got a shitload of bourbon to drink.
Yeah. And he's the guy that is willing to take chances, as I learned today. Actually, like 2 years later, today was the perfect storm. I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
And I approached him. I said, "Hey, this is a thing now. People don't want on the shelf stuff; they want private picks."
It is. Yeah, the whole sticker thing to me, and I don't, I'm glad to see that the brands or the labels are allowing you or allowing folks like yourself to do that. Because again, I mean, you think about Smoke Wagon, you think about Four Roses. I've got a bottle of Santiago de Cuba 11-year, that I picked up in Cuba. But I mean, there's you can look at some labels and it's like, hey, I don't know, you could probably work on it. You can look at some other labels and it's kind of like, holy shit, that's a really nice package you've got that in. And then for somebody to come along and stick Mike Tyson on the side of a bottle, it's
That's
like,
cool.
I think it's cool, but are they like, hey, you're messing with my stuff, man?
So, I'll keep the store's name disclosed, but
Yeah.
yes. Have I got a cease and desist? Yes, I have. I won't say what bottle. I've gotten one, but it was pretty damn, you knew which one it was I knew it was an independent bottler in Kentucky that was doing it. I knew that I had a good chance of getting a cease and desist once I came up with it. It just, it spelled the cease and desist.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, do distilleries hate it? Do they dislike it? I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. I think they like the recognition of like, wow, this guy just tatered the shit out of this bottle. First of all, I don't I have some crazy stuff that we do, but I pride myself what's inside the bottle first, not the sticker.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
There's a lot of groups that, hey, look at this, whatever. I do some cool stuff. I put my name, I put our group name on it, and that's what it means most to me. Yeah, it's waxed, it's got Tyson, it's really cool. But yes, there are a lot of places that once they realize, I think the one I got a cease and desist was 136 bottles. Once they find that out, look, we're a group. At the time, we're a group. We're not a store. I was doing it through, this one wasn't through a store. It was on the side type thing because it was an independent bottler.
Right.
And once they hear it's not like tens of thousands of bottles or whatever, it's like a batch one or it's a single barrel. Yes, was the lady that spoke to me a little perturbed? Yeah, probably. But they also get they get recognition. I have a buddy that did the Riff Patino, good friend of mine. He was going, I mean, it was crazy on every social media platform, crazy. But I think distilleries like it and they hate it at the same time. Because they see their bottle showcased. Wow, that's really cool. It's getting name recognition. Four Roses doesn't need their name recognition. I mean, they're killing it. I mean, that's my favorite distillery, most consistent. But I mean, there's a couple times that I've done. There's another thing I did, a side project of three golfers that you might have seen. One of the golfers I did goes by the Black Knight. His legal team wasn't too happy, didn't hit up my Instagram, but it was 30 sets. So
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. I've been questioned a lot. I've gotten questions recently working with a store about, are you allowed to do that? Look, we're willing to take chances as long as you're not covering up certain things of the bottle. We'll keep on trucking away. The worst, I mean, we'll see what happens, but the sticker game came out. I mean, that's crazy. I remember when 2 years ago when there was no stickers and people were just priding themselves on private barrel picks. And stickers came at.
Hey, I walked into a store the other day. So, but as it relates back to the stickers, I mean, I think it's a ton of fun. I think it's something creative. And, one thing that I can see why a label might like it is that it allows for some creativity that may not be behind, or it's not that it's against their brand. But I mean, you think about all these brands, right? Turkey and Daniels and Beam. And I mean, you've got a history there of tens of years, of hundreds of years I guess not hundreds, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably hundreds actually.
Yeah, and they've got a story that they kind of have to stick to. I mean, think about like what Freddie did with Little Book and some things along those lines, right? I mean, he's kind of veering off that path, but this really allows for someone with kind of a creative mindset to go down a road. And you're not staring the what's to your point, what's inside the bottle, which is why you're actually buying it. You're just adding some creativity to something that the brand really can't change. You know, I mean, it's like, I think I equate it to golf, actually. I mean, you're a golfer, and think about what golf has tried to do for the past probably 10 to 15 years. Maybe they tried to do it before then, but I'd say in the past 10, think about how they're trying to get, you know, that new wave of golfer, right? Make golf fun, make it exciting. And I think that's kind of a direction that this has kind of taken the bourbon road down, is it's making it fun.
It is.
And I don't know where I got cut off at a minute ago, but like I said, I walked into the liquor store a couple of weeks ago, and I typically wouldn't buy a bottle of Bullet. However, the sticker on the bottle of Bullet, it was Pulp Fiction, and I fucking love that. I mean, that's one of my right. What's on the back?
No, this is a pick coming in probably like February, March. But if you haven't done Bullet, I mean, I was completely shocked at their private barrel selections are. I was shocked. But anyways, keep going. Sorry.
But no, I mean, I'm rambling a little bit, but that's what we do here. We drink and we ramble. but I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, it's like Bullet is, you know, when I think of Bullet, I think about like it's the Coca-Cola. It's a label. It's not about what's on the inside of the bottle. It's about how many logo, how many decals, how many places can I have my name on something, right? So people just know, hey, drink Bullet. But when I see this damn Pulp Fiction sticker, and you know, you got Vincent on there, and you know, and my man Jules from Amsterdam. I'm like, shit, I'm buying that bottle, and I'm buying it solely on the sticker. The juice wasn't bad.
I'll come clean. So there's two things I want to talk. So golf related. It reminds me of like the paint fill that people do on their putters and their irons. Like this is the paint fill tater. Like, TaylorMade can't paint fill on mine, or like I putt with a Bettinardi putter, but it's all pink. I use pink tees. It's just a thing I do. Yeah, pretty interesting. But everything on the putter, it's all black, but it's all pink. You know, that's just a thing I want to do. I want to tater up my putter.
Sure.
But I have no clue where I was going to go after that.
Well, we were talking about how the stickers on the bottles is a way for someone to express their interest or their passion for that particular pick and bottle.
Yep. No, that's you know, if it's something that, look, there's a theme for all my Four Roses. Now that I have Four Roses, there's a theme on certain things. You know, if we go to a pick and something gets brought up, then that's what we're doing for that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I could do no stickers. And I truly believe that all my stuff would, knock on wood, would sell through the group because they have faith and trust in what I think is unique. I know where I was going with this. So there's one and everybody knows in my group, there's one project that we did that it was probably pick 20. I think it was like 20. Actually, it was 18. I think it was 18. Pick 18 was Knob Creek rye. And it was the Slimer. And no one was on it. Like, I think we had like 100 of the maybe 216. I can't remember. Just 100 bottles, which is fine. You know, the store that we do with, he knows it's not everyone's going to sell out. Potentially they won't, they will. Great. It is what it is. So then I came up with the idea with glow in the dark wax. I came up with the idea of a Slimer. So it's green glow in the dark wax. And I tell you what, I wish I had 600 of them because as soon as I came up with the idea, boom, and And if there's any pick that I had a question about, because Knob Creek has a different program where you have to proof down your own stuff when you get it. That was the only one that I questioned myself. Like, should we have done that? Is it going to come out well? I don't know, because we're doing it ourselves. And thank God it was one of the better ryes. I mean, we've done a lot of ryes, but it came out really nice for the price point, and everybody wanted it, you know. And that started the glow in the, I mean, I think I was the first glow in the dark wax
That's cool.
Group. But it was, that was the only pick that I really, I guess I wanted to take or something to see if like a sales in me wanted to like could push it.
Right.
But besides that, you know, I had 200 people. I had 200, just over 200 for the first 2 years. And then when a group of guys came to me and said, "Hey, Jeff, I want to invest in a store," and, you know, COVID is around, sales are crazy right now at stores. No one wanted to sell. And that's when I went to the store and said, "Hey, how can we figure this out?" You know, he put something in front of me. I said, let's go to work. You know, a lot of people in my group, when I first said, I want to do like 50 picks in 2021, they were like, wow, that's a lot. They didn't realize we were at 48 for this year. So, you know, I did have a lot of backlash when I should probably not have put a number out there.
Yeah.
But look, at the end of the day, no one's, you know, I have a new rule that I hope, you know, people, I don't need you to be in every release. You know, you're not going to be in every release because they're just going to sell too quick. You know, I have some that have sold in, literally, I did a box set recently. I sold in 12 seconds, 45 sets.
Wow.
What was that? What it like of different labels and expressions, or what would
no,
you do?
So I came up with a, so I came up with a box set with a buddy out of like, he does a group in Pittsburgh where we did a box set where it's the honey, or sorry, it's the maple, the honey, and then it has us kind of like old school picks.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
So we did a 13-year light whiskey, conditioned 15 gallon barrels, 2 of them, one with honey, one with maple. Let it condition for a couple of weeks, and then we let it sit for, I think, 3 weeks. And it came out, the maple came out absolutely incredible. I'll send you guys a sample for sure. The honey was pretty good, but you know, that's the thing now is a lot of people are doing finishes.
Yes, they are.
I'm not really, I don't want to follow that suit as much as possible. He and I have talked about this for probably 8 months now, and we just wanted to do something. Then honey, you know, once the first honey came out, I talked to him. I was like, we got to do something. We did the honey, and then we did the maple, but it just took us a while to get started.
But I mean, so when you're contacting, and I'm assuming the contact point is you go to fourroses.com and there's a single barrel page and you put in a butt. Now, how do you get a hold of them?
Yeah. So that's why I started. That's why, you know, all these groups, you know, a lot of groups are going to places that allow single barrels from the website, or you call. Well, the fact that I was, you know, I'm with a store, you know, a lot of the distilleries still don't like barrel groups, but the fact that once you're joined with a store and you have your brand, like the Rochester Elite Barrel Pickers are with X store, you're part of that store now. And when my boss reaches out to, you know, the Four Roses, the Russells, the Smoke Wagons, the whatever, it's on behalf of the store. It's not on behalf of the group. Once we pick it, it's going to go to the group first. And then, which is, you know, 200 and I think 7 people are local in our group. We do have a shipping license.
I know. I'm wondering how we get a Guardian membership in that thing to help promote the.
So we do have a shipping license in certain states we're allowed to ship. Others, sorry, we can't.
Yep.
So there are definitely regulations that we have to follow, but you know, I've been to Four Roses under a few different stores, and I've been allowed. I've been thankful to have good relationships in this area. That you know, I'm always looking for Four Roses. I'm always looking for Russells. I'm looking for a lot of things, and like for me to tell a store that a barrel sold there, I mean, that's great. You know, sometimes barrels sit, I mean, not Four Roses, not certain, but some barrel, you know, sit for a year and a half. And when I can say it's going to sold and people are going to be up there in 2 weeks and 3 weeks out the door. Okay. So how do I sign up? Mm-hmm. Well, you know, that's the great thing about being in a kind of a small community like Rochester, New York, is the fact that, you know, when I first started this, all I heard was bad news. You know, why is Jeff doing this? He's totally fucking our, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. You know, you could be nice to me. You could be, you know, thankful what I was doing, but you could also hate me. Mm-hmm. Look, I went to one store. And these are store owners that I'm hearing this from. So it's just like, come to me, man. I'll do a pick with you. Like, right. I'm not tooting my horn, but if you want to sell a barrel, just say, hey, how can we join the fun? Because it was all fun. It was fun and games. And now it's actually kind of serious because it's my profession now. Yeah. So, I'm allowed, our store has allowed me to approach other stores on certain picks that we can only can get one of. So it's just like, I want to make everybody happy. And I've never been one to talk bad about really anybody. I hear a lot of bad things talked about me, even people in the group that are part of other stores, it's crazy to me what, you know, I'm trying to do a great thing for a community and all I just get was backlash, but it is what it is. You know, that's the way it is.
But I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't know. Are barrels that you're picking, could they have potentially wound up in someone else's hands? Maybe. But the chances that they were going to do that, that they were going to wind up in someone else's hands is probably, it's probably a slim chance that happens. I mean, eventually they're going to get incorporated into whatever blend they're running, right? I mean, unless it's like a true single barrel. So,
it all depends. I mean, when you're working with single barrels, look, any store can, depending on volume of what they're doing on the shelf stuff and other ways to get picks. But, you know, like Smoke Wagon, I think there's 2 in upstate. We got one of them, and there was one in Syracuse that got one. Other people just couldn't get one. Four Roses is super tough.
Let's talk about this Smoke Wagon for a second, because so it just got released in Georgia in like December the 1st ish, right? Somewhere around there. And I did pick up a bottle, extremely reasonable. I think it was like, maybe $34 or something, give or take.
So you have the small batch, the one in front of you?
Let me see which one it is. This is straight bourbon whiskey. What does it say? By Bamas Morendum. That ain't it.
It's a blend. I think what is it, like 90 proof or 100 proof?
Yeah, I'm looking to see on here. You know, I can't believe they don't. 92.5. Yeah.
I've actually never had that one, to be honest.
Yeah, 92. Well, I'll send you a sample. I mean, it's damn tasty. And I mean, when it was $34, I'm like, shit. There's a great store up the street that's not my usual store. It's a different one that I stopped at. I was just driving by, but it was exceptionally good. But so with your pick, so I don't know. Do you know what the makeup of this is?
No, so it's a 8-year MGP. I don't know what. So Aaron that runs Smoke Wagon, I don't know his process, but I think they only keep these barrels in Las Vegas for only like a month or 2 before they're bottled. He orders them up from MGP. I could be. This is just me talking because I don't know, but I think this is it. He's in my opinion the one that's done the best in being honest with MGP, because he bought new distillate, waited, and he just killed it real quick.
Yeah.
I think he bought a bunch of new make, or sorry, 6-year, which this is an 8-year, and then sat on that. But he only lets it sit.
You get a lot of rye notes on this? I do. I'm getting some. I mean, even on the, I'm getting it kind of like a honey mint on the nose.
Yep.
And then the finish on this is like really good. I mean, I would say this is a nice long finish. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a burn. I would say it just kind of keeps opening up, you know, as it sits in your mouth.
It's 113.4. And the profile I always look for it is something well balanced, long finish, and I don't mind something unique at all. Like I'll go out on a whim and go do something crazy if I had to. We only were allowed a certain amount of samples on this, so it was tough to compare. But this was you know, if you have a smoke wagon pick, it's pretty cool, in my opinion. A lot of people are trying to get them that can't.
Yeah.
Yep.
The glass that they do is 100% handmade.
Oh, wow.
They put a lot in their packaging.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that which I wouldn't imagine. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I wouldn't imagine that if you, to your point, as long as you're not covering up, you know, their expression of their bottle, I wouldn't think that these are folks that would get pissed off that you do something. I know, God, that's a good bottle.
Yeah, so that's the bottle. A little different. It's pretty cool, that's for sure. But no, I think it's an easy drinker. At 8 years, it was $100 bottle. You know, there's other store. I mean, I see secondary going for like $250 on this thing at 8 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really smooth, and you know, one of my buddies actually did not like it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And
I could go through that pretty easily.
And I mean, that's the great thing about our group is anything that is open or people want to sell back to the group, it's for cost. You know, I did that. I made that rule just because no one needs to make money off this stuff in our group. If they want to sell it, the only rule is they can't flip 4 roses. Anything else, don't really care about. But with this stuff, you know, he posted it. Some local guy was like, "Yeah, I'll take that for that price. I'll pick it up tomorrow." Like, I love it. So that's a good thing about having kind of a local based group and community that. And I always try to incorporate as many people. I actually have a pick tonight, which is funny.
Well, that's cool.
And so we'll do it in my garage, you know, 7 people, and try to get as many people as possible that can join in on these things.
So how do you, is it a lottery? Is it, hey, whoever can make it? I mean, how do you decide who's picking?
Well, I just posted on the group and say, hey, Tuesday at 7:30, who wants to, you know, up to 6 people who wants to partake in tonight we're doing a single malt out of Oregon called Westward. But last week I was at Taconic and Hill Rock, and I said, hey, who wants to go travel 4.5 hours and stay overnight, and came back with 6 barrels.
Damn, we definitely gotta get in on this, man. That sounds like fun. Yeah, we had who do we have on a couple weeks ago, Dan? We had the folks from Black Button on.
Black Button Distilling, yep.
Yeah, they're here local.
Local.
Yeah.
Nice people. Yep.
Yeah, interesting story behind what they're doing over there.
Jason, Jason, was he the only one on, or was it other people?
Mm-hmm. It was just
no, just Jason. Yeah, we had a great chat and sipped through some bourbon. So yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, great dude.
Nice.
So I'm advancing to the 4 roses.
Yep. So you know, there's a lot of people in the group think this is the best pick we've done out of 4 roses.
Oh wow.
I know it's tough. Depends on your recipe. You know, we've picked the OESOs, we picked the OBSOs. This was an OESF, high proof.
Yep.
You know, everybody's looking for that tier 6, which is funny to me. tier 6 Four Roses are going for crazy bonker money. We have a Four Roses coming out next month, the Usain Bolt, and it's first tier. But I'll put it up against a lot of things, to be honest. Nice. It's all about recipe and proof and what you like with Four Roses. I can say that I've been there 6 of the 8 picks we've done.
Right.
100% blind. And we've all picked, out of the 8 recipes we have, they're all different, which is crazy. All
really?
Blind. All blind. So we're missing 2 out of the vertical, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't, 2 completely different bourbons in, on the nose, on the palate. I'm going to hit it again, but I think the Smoke Wagon, just the first sip, I think Smoke Wagon, I had a little bit of a longer finish. I think the Four Roses is a little bit of a stronger finish. I'm going to taste it again. So I got to see, but yeah, but just my immediate reaction was the nose is bolder. It's definitely the viscosity of this thing. It went like the Smoke Wagon was good and I got a good mouth coat. This Four Roses for me, it's like oil. Like I'm salivating all over myself on this thing, man.
Here we go.
It is. It's rich. It's deep. There's a lot of
finish. I would say the finish is, let's see what the year is. This is 12 year, 5 months. So it's an older Four Roses pick too. It was sitting on the 4th tier and 124.6 is the proof.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now.
Chair. When you're drinking Four Roses, and this is what my opinion is. This is Four Roses. You get, cherries on the back end. You get a lot of.
Yeah, this is almost cheer wine on the finish. It's hitting me now on this thing, and it's like more. It's like deeper and deeper. I'm not getting cherries. I'm getting like cherry syrup.
Sure.
Yeah. This thing is it's really tasty.
Yeah, on the nose, like that's what a lot of people ask me is like, I'm not the one to give out the perfect notes. Like, I know what I like through taste.
Yeah.
When you start asking me notes, it's just like, yeah, I get this, I get that. I'm getting better, but my palate, I know what I like is the thing. I know what I like, and a lot of the times what I like is not what we pick, to be honest. Sometimes, I would say majority probably is, I persuade that way, but recently 2 weeks ago, we were at a pick and it wasn't my favorite. And majority, like when you have 5 guys, but I started to believe in that. I was like, I get it. I know why you guys like it.
Believe in the process, right? If it works and it's consistent and it is consistently consistent. I don't know if I can put those two together, but
no, you're not thinking about yourself when you have a group. You're thinking about the others. Even though I might put my stamp of approval, which could mean nothing. Other group members are going to believe in you. We have 100 people out of state. So it's just like, they can't come here. I believe in what you pick. And I don't think we've let and as a group, I don't think we've let anybody down. There's, I've heard of, I didn't like the sherry bomb. Well, yeah, it was sherry. You don't like sherry. Why'd you get in it? Like,
right.
There's things like that.
Yeah, this too. It's kind of like just in thinking about it, right? It's kind of like a golf swing. It's repetitions. But seriously, right? If you go through, if you're completing the reps and you're completing them in the right way, then you just keep it. It's repetitive in a sense, and you just have to, it's muscle memory. I guess in this case, it's sensory memory. But again, it kind of ties directly back into what happens in the game of golf. Once you figure out the right way to do it right. And then you move through the motion. Yeah,
I don't like Jim Furyk's swing. I don't like Matt Wolf's swing, but hell, they get it done, and we can't all have a swing like Adam Scott. But
my God, no. Why did you bring that up? Now you've ruined the evening. This is going to go on for 3 hours now. God, if I was ever going to be in love with a man,
oh my gosh,
it'd definitely be Adam Scott. I mean, that guy just, and to see him in person and to see like, it's, it's like, I want to look at Ernie Els in that sense, because Ernie Els, like they call him the Big Easy for a reason. And that swing just looks, it's so just fluid and effortless. But I look at Ernie Els and I'm like, eh. But then when Adam Scott gets up there and does it, I'm like, oh
boy.
No, I mean, but then you have Rory, who, in my opinion, has the most talent out of anybody. Even when Tiger in his prime, I mean, Rory is.
Yeah.
I mean, Rory's stupid good.
All Rory is in his head.
It's all
man.
it's that putter, man.
It is the putter. Yeah.
Even though people say, you got to make putts first, you got to hit in the fairway. I mean, Tiger saw how bad. I mean, not how bad, but how rough it was coming out of the rough. But he made putts. I mean, Tiger made putts. Rory can hit it wherever, but he just can't make the putts right now. But
I don't think he cares. I don't mean that he doesn't care. I just mean, if you think about Tiger in his day, like Tiger was distanced from everybody except for his little bubble. Like Tiger created the COVID golf bubble before there was ever a damn COVID around. I mean, but think about it. I mean, no shit, man. I mean, Tiger was in a bubble, and Tiger was focused on one thing, and that was winning majors. And what happened and what went wrong, we don't need to get into that. That puts us X-rated, but we can if we want to. But that's when shit started going sideways. He became bigger than life. And
I agree with that. It's the game is mental, that's for sure. I think Rory tries too hard maybe on putting. I don't know. I don't know what it is with him. He just can't make.
He can't make the putts.
And look at Tiger now. He can't make them either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Who knows? That's why we play this. So when my dad, he was a non-golfer. My brother got me into golf. He's 7 years older than I am. My dad couldn't even fucking hit a golf ball right now. He's caddied for me numerous times because I love the guy to death. He has no clue what the hell's going on with golf. And just carry the clubs. Just carry them. We can talk about whatever. Just carry them. We'll have a good conversation. But it's all mental. It is crazy to me when you step off a golf course. How many times, you guys probably both play, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you said, I left nothing out there, I hit every ball exactly how I want to, and I'm content today?
I don't know if this is a trick question, but I've never said that shit.
Exactly. That's why we go out the next day and play golf again, because we want to try to have that moment. I mean, I've shot some pretty decent scores in my day, and even my lowest round, I said, damn, I left two out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's why we play this dumb game, because it's just like, I want to beat it. I want to beat it. I want to beat the course record at that course. And I don't know. It's just, it's a great game. I actually enjoy following golf right now more than any sport, even though I'm a huge college basketball and football.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just can't get into the other. I literally just can't get into sports right now. Besides golf, I'll watch it, and because.
But you know what? To me, I'm 100% with you, and I feel like golf is still real. I mean, even though the other sports, they're real and they're really playing them and all that shit, but I feel like golf fundamentally, especially right now, I think that it's taking us back. Big sip. But I feel like golf has kind of taken us back to the fundamentals of what, like and we can say the gentleman's game. I think that's a term that probably needs to change. Really, all the gentleman's game means is we're going to follow the rules. But really, and fundamentally, I think that the way they approached it and the way they took the chance and they came back, I mean, I think it was really solid in the execution and the discipline that all of those people have on the PGA Tour to actually execute it and execute it successfully. And I think that, like, as a professional athlete, it's like, well, shit, I like to play golf. I want to go do that. And it's like, yeah, but the not professionalism, but I'll use the word discipline again, that you have to maintain. When we're talking about a guy that, hey, he's still making, tens of millions of dollars a year, be it on course or in endorsements. And you can just start rattling off names, but the discipline that you have to maintain, and go to the driving range one day and just hit balls, and then think about the pressure that you have when you step onto that platform of, shit, I have to actually play really well or I'm going to lose my job.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that's the thing. Like I've had a few friends that, one stroke away from getting on the PGA Tour in Q school. But that's why I always appreciate golf and tennis, because you get paid how you perform. Look, I'm a Lions fan. They suck.
I'm a Falcons fan, so I'm in the same boat.
But yeah, well, when you're 0-16, you should get maybe 100,000. Like that. The crazy thing with sports, and I won't get too much involved with it, but it's just how much money these guys are making. Man,
they're making
golf, it's all about, you're getting good, pretty deep. I mean, the club deals and all that have endorsements, and there's some sponsorships that are going crazy on guys, but as far as the club deals, they've dropped. But if you don't play well, you're not
getting paid, man. Well,
you have to make, I think it's just over $1 million now just to keep your card, basically.
Well, look who's not getting invited. I would say today, the most sponsored, advertised, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, player, he ain't making it to the Masters in April.
Well, he could, but he hasn't made it yet.
Okay, well, he's got to win a tournament. If he doesn't win a tournament, he potentially doesn't make it to the Masters. And he's probably one of he's on more commercials than any other golfer than you see right now.
Right.
And, and I hope he rights the ship and get things pulled back together. But to your point, it is like you have to win, and you can blame your coach, you can blame your cat, you can blame whoever you want. But at the end of the day, there's only one person hitting that damn golf ball.
Yeah. That's what's crazy. Is like people want to say, golf's not a sport, blah, blah, blah. But man, mentally, what's more challenging than figuring out under pressure? Look, yeah, the Masters wasn't the same. The U.S. Open wasn't the same. I kind of wish we had a Ryder Cup in the U.S. because I would have loved not hearing our stupid fans like saying "Baba Booyah." Like I don't know. I'm old school when it comes to golf. I just don't like that stuff, and it's always nice to hear non-drunks. Like I don't know. I've been there before, but like it's a gentleman's game. I like listening and watching golf and not hearing someone yell mashed potatoes.
So hold on. So you got a hoodie on. Are you a hoodie or no hoodie on the golf course?
I don't know. We'll see next year. I have my hoodie because it represents our group.
I see. It's very cool logo, man. Very cool.
But hoodie, I don't know. I kind of dig it, actually. I kind of do.
I don't have any issues with it. I think that, if it's cold, it's keeping me warm, whether I got it on or off. Shit, man. It's cold, I
live in Rochester, New York, so damn. Exactly. Even if it's under 50, I'm not golfing. So at 52, I need a hoodie.
Right. Okay, hold on. One more. So music on the course, yes or no?
Well, it depends. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it.
Okay.
But one of my good friends plays fish, and I'm more the hip hop EDM type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy plays fish, and I swear on hole 1 and in hole 17, I just listened to the whole track, the same fucking song from hole 1 to hole 17, and I bust his balls.
So the type of music you may want to change, but you don't mind music in general.
No, I don't mind it. And the fact that I was like, dude, this guy hasn't sang any not one word in 17 holes. Is this like a remix? Yeah. I was like, I'm just like, oh my god.
It's like I didn't know Spotify skipped, but you need to hit the button because it keeps skipping.
No, it's so like true. He's a huge fish guy, and He's a good dude, but I always rip on him because we play in a couple events together. He's like, time for the fish, or Dave Matthews. And he's like, time for fish. I'm like, oh God. Like, here we go.
So the next time you need to show up with your speaker first and he'll just play it over you. He doesn't give a shit.
No, he was giving me, like Spotify came up with that like thing recently, like your top artist for 2020. And
yep.
I shared mine to my Instagram. He's like, oh yeah, you listen to that electronic bullshit and you give me a hard time for listening to Fish. I'm like, yeah, mine have a beat to it. Like I can get down with it, not yours.
That's funny.
All right, so hold on. So we've got big news coming from Rochester, New York, elite barrel pickers.
So this is not it. But
no, it's not it, but we do have good news. And I was excited to see, because most people, they see the name and it's Birdies and Bourbon. And it's like, well, it would have been weird if we would have called it like Birdies and Alcohol. It'd have been like, well, that's fucking dumb. Or if we would have said like Birdies and Spirits, they'd have been like, I don't know, what are they like, ghost people or something. So the bourbon thing is just like, it's a placeholder for alcohol and spirits. I was excited because we traded a couple messages, but we didn't put anything out there of like, hey, we want this, this, and this. It's like, hey, here's their name. Here's what we do. And we basically like to drink anything. But if you send vodka, there's really no reason unless we're making Bloody Marys. Right. So I was excited to see two great bourbons come over and a rum, because as I showed you earlier, I'm a big fan of Cuban rum. So let's, I'll hand it back over to you,
Jeff.
So
I don't even know how long ago this was, but we got introduced by an independent rum bottler, Holmes Cay, and we really wanted to try to figure out, because I was trying to work on my own label at the time, and matter of fact, he had great rum, so he gave us a Foursquare. With Foursquare, it's normally blends. With him, he was able to get private barrel selections of Foursquare. So when he was literally just starting out. So when I told him, I said, look, I run a barrel group. I want a rum. He's like, well, let me figure it out. Next few months, I'll send you some samples. So he sent us the samples, and I was like, holy shit, and I had 5 guys around my bar, all, that's one thing I put out in my group is like, are you a rum guru? Are you I want those people to come, no offense to other people that want to try it, but I like the people that have passions about certain spirits.
Sure. Yeah.
So we tried it and we're like, wow. And then 3 months later, we got it bottled. And there was another one. Cask 6 was a 2005 Belize. This was Cask 5. The Pirates of the Caribbean, and nice. And it's, you tell me what you think. I'm not going to put more into your head, but
well, yeah. So let me tell you. It said, hold the bottle back up. Was it Holmes Cay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Holmes Cay, and it's a Belize rum. Here's what I would say is if you're, because if you're not, I think if you're exclusively a bourbon drinker, or if you're exclusively a whiskey drinker, and you're like, hey, you don't like the sweeter stuff and you like rye, and you go over to, I like a rye whiskey and I'll hit some Irish stuff, and but I like Scotch and I don't like the peat. This is actually, it's really interesting. The first thing that hits my nose is it's smoke. And it's not overly peaty, like
candy smoke.
It's definitely like it's smoked molasses. It's like if you left the molasses a little too, and I don't know what style Foursquare or what Holmes Cay is.
So he's an independent bottler. So he has, this is Belize. And then we just came out with this week was a Jamaican Money Musk rum.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Which is, this was straight funk, Jamaican, like funk. So in my opinion, the Belize is more of a bourbon drinker's rum.
Okay. And that's what we're having right now, right? The Holmes Cay.
Correct.
And is this
so they're both Holmes Cay, but he did a Belize run, and this is, in my opinion, the one you're tasting right now is a bourbon drinker's rum.
Yeah, I would agree. Are they using molasses or cane sugar? Do you know?
I believe molasses.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, it's not to say that one's better than the other, but I mean, when you get into, the molasses versus the cane sugar, I tend to find the cane sugar to be a little less smoky, a little less dark.
I have no idea, actually. I just know they're not adding anything to it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can actually see between the two.
Yeah, I see it. The color.
Yeah, pretty similar. So this is an 11-year that I'm holding up. Not what I'm drinking, not the Holmes Cay, but I mean, but still, even so, I mean, I think there's something, but there's a smokiness in here that is damn good. Like you're getting a message. If you got any left over,
I think I have one left. And that was the thing is, so and this is crazy. So our first rum, this was our first rum. Now we've picked one. We just got confirmation today on a 6th. So this was our first rum. Our second one came out this week. Our first rum, he was like, well, how many bottles do you think you can sell? And I said, 50 maybe. I don't know.
51,
really don't know.
52.
I don't know. And he sent me samples, and we ended up selling 252.
Oh shit. Wow.
We sold out of the barrel.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was I didn't know it would sell like hotcakes after, that's the tough thing with, when you're dealing with, I have an Armagnac coming in February.
God.
1992, late Encantada. It's going to be pretty money. It's really good. And then, that's the thing is like, I try to get samples for as many people as I can to sample. I mean, behind my bar, I literally have probably like 12 samples for next year. And I'll pour it for you. You can try it. If you like it, great. If you don't, okay, let's move on to the next one. I try to, if you're not there on the pick, I try to build experience. If you're not in it, if you can come over here during COVID, or I'll pour it in the garage, or
sure.
I'll give you a Boston round, whatever. I'm trying to do my best to have everybody taste, because the last thing I want you to do is buy a bottle and you think this is a drain pour or something. But luckily I don't think that's been there yet.
Listen, you couldn't pour this rum down the drain because it wouldn't actually go down the drain. I mean, this thing is like so oily.
This pick is fucking good.
I don't know if you can see the legs on that. You probably can't for the shadow, but I mean, this thing is like, this is so crazy. And here's so for people that drink bourbon, and then, it's like, well, every now and then I'll take maybe some rye or whatever. And you shy away from spirits like rum. I think to me, rum is a great way to help expand your bourbon palate. And I don't know if you feel the same way. So if like you're picking stuff and you wouldn't go and taste a rum and then go taste a bourbon and compare the two if you were doing a pick. But if you're like, hey, I want to try to maybe self-educate on how do I get a little bit better at my nose or at my, on the palate or on the finish, I think rum is a great way to do that. Now, don't go get the Bacardi 151 off the shelf. That ain't gonna. That's not the right way to go. But go talk to the folks at your liquor store if you got a good one, and ask them like, hey, what's a good sipping rum? And I mean, like this thing is like, I don't know why I would mix this with something other than if I was just experimenting, but it would be like one and done. And I ain't mixing this with shit, man. This is like straight neat all day.
So it's funny because I would say, I mean, I only know one really, really hardcore rum person, which is in our group. And she had nothing to do with this pick, but the Money Musk Holmes Cay Jamaican. She was over, we had, I think, 6 different rums we were tasting. She's like, or sorry, we had 5 rums. She guessed exactly. She knew exactly what we were tasting. She didn't know the years. She guessed the years and which one was which. I mean, it was the most impressive thing. She hate to toot her horn because she knows a shit ton of everything. But when she found out that we were doing the 05 Belize and she got her hands on it, she goes, that's still one of my top. It's my top Belize rum I have. I mean, she has 200, 300, 400 bottles, I think.
Wow.
And she is a lot of the reason why in March or April next year will be the second U.S. drop of Foursquare exclusive. I think they call it the Foursquare exclusive series or something. Yeah, we agreed to.
We've got big news coming on the show, man.
Big news, man. Big news. 1,800 bottle commitment, and Total Wine was the first, and us in Rochester.
Can you say 1,799 bottle commitment?
No, I'm sure I can say 1,750. You want 50? No, but no. Usually they do 600 cases, and the fact that this our rum guru was able to pull some strings. She knows the Foursquare owner pretty well.
Cool.
Holy shit, that is good, man. I'm still tasting it. That is so good.
We were able to, it's going to be a blend, of course, because Foursquare is all about blends with their releases, and to have a store to back you on such a big commitment of, I mean, we're just in Rochester, New York. I mean, we're not a Total Wine. We're not, but to have a store to back you is, it speaks wonders, to be honest.
Is that the biggest drop you've ever had?
I mean, a lot of people reached out to me today because I just dropped the news. I had a call at 1 o'clock to confirm it today. And they're like, how is this big? I was like, dude, in the rum world, when Fred Minnick said it's the Pappy of rums, I was like, I hate to say it, but this is like Pappy in a barrel, to be honest. They're like, well, really? I was like, honest. I mean, no, not really, but to the exclusivity of you're the 6th pick to do it worldwide with 4, I believe, in the UK and 1 in the States, and we're the 6th. I mean, come on. We're a little ass group, and
that's cool, man.
I mean, it was cool. It was cool to talk to about it. Cool to talk logistics and kind of next steps and everything. Everybody's like, oh, that tasting process is going to be awesome. Well, it's a little different than the average tasting process. It's it's a blend, so we can only have much feedback or input as we want. We can give probably our suggestions, but at the end of the day, we don't know what barrels they have to blend. So, no, it's. I mean, we're a bourbon group, but to drop this type of release, it's pretty cool. I didn't know the rum community until yesterday and today, and I assume I'm going to get so many DMs about this in the coming weeks, which. Look, when I posted on the group today, and seemed like, I I had like 90 or 100 comments like, are you serious? Like, this is awesome. Like, I want a 6-pack. I want a case. Like, well, there's enough for everybody. So it's cool. Like, I like to be different. We are a bourbon group. We're going to work on our own gin in the summer.
Oh, cool.
So there's a lot of, I want to be unique. I want to be known as, we're just, when you taste our picks, I hope you see that they are a little different than the regular expression that you're trying with either Four Roses or other private picks, because I don't want to do something. Yeah, even though it's, I'm not knocking anybody, other groups, because there's plenty of good groups out there, but I want to be unique and just not by the sticker. The stuff inside means more than
Well, the sticker's cool. That's like a bone. It's like Cracker Jacks, right? It's like, well, it's cool that I get the tattoo that I can put on, but really, I want the damn Cracker Jacks, right? If I get a box, with just the tattoo in it, like I'll send it back to you. But if I get the Cracker Jacks and I get the tattoo, I mean, that's like an added bonus, you know? I mean,
I wish all groups ran that way, but can't really say that with a straight face with a lot of the groups out there. But I'm boys with a lot of the groups. Being at a store now, I'm going to try to help them out. Cool. We have something we're working on with an independent bottler in New Jersey that we kind of came up with our own TTB label that we can actually sell in our store based on.
Can you drop the name of your store, by the way? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, I mean, it's Hoffman's Discount Liquor and Wine.
Okay.
Victor, New York. And like I said, I'm not subject to that. I mean, 98% of the stuff I'll do, but a lot of the stores that I've done stuff with locally, I'm happy. I mean, that's the cool thing that with my relationship and with the owner is, look, group, let's make some money. Let's charge retail, and other groups out there. I mean, other stores, if they approach you and you want a Four Roses, why not? I mean, you want another Russell's? Why not? I mean, we can only get one. So why, why? I mean, it's a community here, in my opinion. There's a lot of liquor stores in this area, like I'm sure a lot of areas. And, we want to, I try to spread the wealth as much as possible. I mean, I think
there's plenty of drinkers, and there's plenty of juice out there. It's, to be selfish about it or malicious, maybe too strong of a word, but to just go down a road of where you're, gouging people. And really at that point, I think with some of these folks, all you're doing is buying advertisement. When you walk in and you see the Wellers and the Pappies and they're, 300, 700, 1,000, depending on whatever bottle it is. It's like that's advertisement to get someone else in your store. And those are the stores that I don't go back into because it's like those bottles weren't made to sit on the shelf. I mean, they were made to be drank, right? And
100%.
And I mean, you opened up the show with this is, stop chasing. I can't call it shit because it's not shit. It's good liquor. But there's no reason to have
better things out there.
Well, there's, and, you mentioned you got a lot. I mean, I got a lot of shit sitting on the shelf back here. And, there's things that I'm like, I'm not going to drink that one so fast. I'm going to let it sit back there a little while, whatever. But, there's stuff out there that's equally as good. And, I mean, all these brands and labels, I mean, they came up with this stigma of, oh my God, how can I find the unicorn? Because people started hunting it. Well, shit, man. Hey, I mean, hold up a sticker. I mean, and it's not about the sticker, but I mean, hold up a bottle. And I mean, this has no sticker. It's a Sherlock's pick. You ain't getting any more of this shit. It's sold out, right? So, I mean, and it's damn good. Actually, I'm tasting the Smoke Wagon now. I should, but
yeah, I mean, I totally 100% agree with you. There are so much better things out there. I'm in a group, when COVID wasn't around, I'm in a group every other Tuesday where we blind taste or we taste. And then when we go home, we take a couple of sample things, sample Boston rounds with a number on it. We have no idea what the hell we're tasting. There's times where people will get Stag, Pappy 15, Four Roses single barrel, all this other shit. And it's crazy to me that, we have to give a review, kind of do our palate, what do we get, blah, blah, blah. And then we rate it out of 10. There's so many times where that stuff gets 6, 5, right. 7. It's just like,
and it's sitting on the shelf for like $300 or $400.
And I mean, it's all about, it's a head game, Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a lot of bottles I like, and if I blind them against other things, I'm sure they wouldn't perform to that level. But that's why I started the group, because I think there's better things out there. Make it a better experience for individuals in the group, and let's have fun. Let's put some wax on it. Let's get creative. Right. Our prices are legit. I've been told I need to up my prices, but at the end of the day, I'll keep them where they're at. With now that we're at the store, we'll keep on the now we can do more picks.
Hey, price point wise, not price point, excuse me, but as far as your barrel pick versus the off the shelf, as much as I thought I liked this Smoke Wagon off the shelf, you fucked me on that one. so now I'm like, well, now I got to drink this damn swell, So no. I mean, respectfully, yeah. But I mean, your single barrel pick of the Smoke Wagon was definitely
there's a lot more going on to it.
A completely different experience.
It's a better experience, but I'll see if I can send you guys one. You guys can split it. I don't know. I'm sure you don't live, North Carolina and Georgia are close, but you guys can split it somehow.
We're all Southern. If you get it to me, I'll make sure he never gets any. It's fine.
Exactly.
No, I'll figure something out. Yes. we have several picks coming up. I'll definitely hook you guys up with something.
Cool.
Well, hold on. Let me get. I'm going to sip on this Four Roses a little bit because now these are. So you got a pick, and this is actually a pick also from a local liquor store. It is not my friend's bottle shop, which is my favorite. And I know you probably got to go. So if you need to jump at any time, just say hey. I should. So you got any good golf stories for us? When you were out there, not you and your buddies getting drunk on the course, but when you're making a run for it, you're playing on the mini tour, you're playing on, I don't know, did you play?
I mean, I always tell the story about my dad, but I'll go back to that because I think I want to end on that because it's a great story.
Cool.
But no, I mean, when you're on the NGA Hooters tour, all my boys, we're like, oh, Hooters. Are the girls out there? I'm like, yeah, it was fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, when you're playing a 9-hole, I turned at like 325 or 330 one time. Turned. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of fun out here. Like, I just played a 7-hour round at 18 and we couldn't even get it in. It was tough out there.
Hold on. How does that even happen?
Because you have the Keegan Bradleys out there that look they're twitching and they look from every side of the golf ball that are like, yeah, it's tough. It was a grind out there. I mean, I'm a better player now than I was. I would love to try it again now because I'm definitely better than I was. But I just learned how to grind better now.
Yeah.
Even though the putts don't fall for me now like they did back in the day, it is what it is. But
you think you were taking it too serious and like you were on a path back in the day?
I mean, I think when I was playing, I wasn't doing right. I was doing it bare minimum because my sponsorship was like basically family friends to help me out.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to play in every tournament like all the other guys. I mean, there was a guy by the name of Jeff Core. I mean, he did not shoot under. Is it under or over? I think he shot 30 under, 31, 34, 30.
Wow.
4 weeks in a row.
Wow.
That is nowhere to be found. But he shot 2 359s in 4 weeks. It was absolutely absurd. I mean, these aren't putt golf courses.
Yeah.
For sure.
They were. I mean, they were challenging. Some of them more challenging than the others, but I mean, to shoot those kind of numbers and not be on the PGA Tour, come on,
yeah.
Well, no, that shows you how finite the line is of making it and not making it, right? I mean, I was talking with Bob Burke today. He's a coach up at Heritage Golf Links, and he was like, do you count your putting? Do you count your putts? And I'm like, well, no, not really, but I know I need to limit my 3 putts. And he's like, well, you need to start counting your putts every round. And I'm like, well, why do I need to start counting my putts? And he's like, well, how do you think you're going to get better? And I'm like, well, I need to hit the ball better. And he's like, well, don't you hit the ball when you're putting? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, right. So how many fairways did you hit? How many greens and regulations did you hit? And how many putts did you make? And he said, and better yet, just work it backwards, man. He said, start with the putter and start keeping track and set a goal for yourself for 2021. And so this is a question, Jeff. So as a, what do you want to call you?
Amateur. I'm an amateur now.
Semi-professional, amateur. What
nope.
do you want to?
I have my amateur status back. I have a handicap.
Okay, so as an amateur golfer, but someone that has played competitive golf, what do you think a good goal is for someone to set for putts during a round?
Don't 3-putt.
Yeah. I know that. But is there a number in particular that you could pull out? Like every
hole is par 2.
Every hole is par 2.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, there's too many amateurs. So I have a few buddies that aren't gifted like I was gifted, in my opinion. Take the driver out of the bag, hit something in play, because 9 times out of 10, you can't find that ball. It's in the woods. It dribbled off the tee.
Penalty stroke.
There's a reason why the putter is the easiest club to hit in the bag. It's the shortest.
Yeah.
So even if you hit a 5-iron off the tee, even though everybody and their brother wants to hit driver as far as DeChambeau and who knows, whatever. No, that's not how golf's supposed to be played. The golf is supposed to be played between the trees, between the stakes, hit it and find it. And from how many times, my buddies hit driver off the tee in the woods, and I'm just like, and these are like 100 shooters. So it's just like, the way to get you to a 90 shooter or 85 is take that club out of the bag, practice it a different time, and keep it between the trees. Everybody wants to hit it as far as they can, and that's not how it. Yep. Even if I'm 100 yards shorter than, look, I'm not the longest guy, but driving used to be my worst thing. Now it's one of my better things. Now putting's my worst thing. I used to be a great putter. Now I can't make putts. Everybody all my buddies in Rochester just shit on me. You hit the ball so well.
Have you been talking to Jordan Spieth?
No. But I've my mind is fucked like him because with the putting. But it's crazy. Why haven't you won more? Well, it is what it is. I have whiskey now. But
that makes golf more fun.
Exactly. I want to say one story though. This is funny in my opinion. So I'm a sophomore. I think I'm a sophomore in college. My dad knows nothing about golf still. And I'm playing in Michigan for the Michigan AM qualifier. And I'm on, I think it's hole 16. And I'm 1 under par. And I probably have to stay 1 under to make it to the Michigan AM. And Kalamazoo, Michigan, and there's this huge tree in front of me, 159 pin, but this tree I got to get it up quick. And I looked at my dad and I said, I think I need to hit 8-iron here. He goes, son, you see that branch right there? He goes, you're going to hit it. I said, thanks. I said, no. I was like, give me the 8-iron. You see that middle of the tree? You're going to hit it right there. I was like, give me the 8-iron. And like literally right before I hit it, he goes, that's a terrible decision.
Oh man.
I hit it. I cleared the tree, hit it to 2 inches. I fucking gave him the finger. I said, fuck you, carry the bag. And we walked on and made the Michigan AM. And to this day, my dad is awesome. It was the most.
What's your dad's name? What's your dad's name?
Hal March.
March. Cheers to you, sir.
No,
you knew he was going to hit the damn tree.
And no, I tell everybody I talk to about golf. I had my dad out here last year, or not this year, but the previous year due to COVID. I qualified for the New York State AM, and he pushed my cart it was a hell of a 54 holes or actually 72 holes with all the rain, and I think we had like 4 rain delays, but the speed cart is getting a little older, so he can't carry the bag. And no, it's always a great opportunity to
does
share,
he ever say fuck you, you shouldn't do that?
Nah, I don't think so. Probably in his head, I'm the hellion of the kid. My brother, probably doesn't dare to say that to his father, but I'm the special child. But no, there's definitely times where my dad has got on my ass for certain things, but I've always been a hard worker at the golf game. And even though my dad can't, back in the day he had bifocals and wasn't able to look through a cork or a Coke bottle. It's been a pleasure to have him, be a part of, he used to caddy for me a little bit on the NGA Hooters tour a few times. I think I wore him out by the time of all the waiting we had to do. But no, it's always been, he's been my biggest fan besides my brother when it comes to golf. And then when I got into whiskey, he's like, what the fuck is all this?
So his dad is Hal a drinker?
No, I mean, I had them here. When did they come out? I can't remember. They haven't been out, probably like 6 months ago. They were out here and I said, hey, try this pick. And my mom, she's that one to like barely taken.
Teetotaler, kind of like, oh yeah, that's horrible.
No, but she tried.
You're gonna get drunk if you drink that.
No, she literally, I don't even know if she got her tongue wet, but she's like, ew, you like that stuff? I'm like, well, I only have 450 bottles. I guess I like it. No, but it's, I talked to him today actually. And, it was tough. My dad's tired business guy. And when I told him what I was going to do, he's like, what's that? Like, you're actually going to do this full time? And I said, yeah, I truly believe I can, I don't know when the bubble is going to burst, but I definitely have backup. I have an idea what I want to do to keep this going. Because I think, what we have going is pretty solid. So
very cool.
It was tough to describe to them, what I was doing. And even to this day, when people like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't really know. I work at a liquor store and I sell barrels. What do you mean sell barrels?
Pick barrels?
I pick whiskey and bourbon.
I pick damn good barrels of whiskey.
I just get lucky. I get lucky that there's good barrels out there for us. But no, it's been a fun time, and hope I don't see the burble busting. I think what we have going on with our group is going to last a little bit longer than potentially other groups, because I can work with distributors. I can work with other brands. I don't go direct to a lot of them. So, hey, we'll see what happens. And at least I got golf, I got bourbon, and we'll go from there.
Well, I've cycled through the samples, and then I've gone through the closest I could get to what I had in my house. I can't say that anything is even remotely. Let me get this one. You got to travel all the way to fucking Cuba to get a hold of this one. Watch out for the Castros and that, like, whoa, that they send over. Yeah, I mean, everything that you pushed over to me, man, was fantastic. Dan will get his in a day or two. We'll probably he'll sip on it and talk about it in the show later. But
yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic barrel picks. We're hoping to get a hold of more information, and we got more golf stories to get out of you, dude.
We do.
No, let's set up another time. We'll talk. I'll send you tons more samples. It's kind of a last minute I had a lot of stuff. Last week was probably the craziest week I've had with dropping 4 releases in 1 week.
Wow, yeah. Mm-hmm.
4 releases in 1 week. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we had a lot of stickering, 930 bottles we stickered. We had a single malt. It came out pretty sweet. I want to create a Birdies and Bourbon sticker and send it to you. And let's get on. Yeah, let's go. We'll figure something out golf related, and I'll stick your emblem on something, and we'll do it.
Very cool.
Awesome.
But no,
awesome.
I greatly appreciate, you know, it was cool how I got introduced to you guys, and you know, let's figure out a time to talk, let's golf, let's drink, let's bullshit.
Hey, let's have it.
Let's do whatever.
I mean, isn't this all about having a good time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, hey, Jeff, before you drop, so where can people find you? How can people find out what's dropping? What's the name of the club? You know, give us the info.
Well, unfortunately, if you search for the club on Facebook, you'll never find it. But you can see Instagram, ROC NY Elite Barrel Picker, or at ROC New York Elite Barrel Pickers. If you live local, hit me up, Jeff March on Facebook, and we'll figure something out. If you're in dire need of the group, maybe I can get my arm twisted. But no, I try to keep it small just because the exclusivity of it. I get a lot of shit last time I upped it to 100. I upped to 110 members. I went through 650 people, and
Wow.
basically it was basically this person spoke highly of this person, vouch for this person. That's how I did it. Who knows where we'll be in a year? I have a lot of releases coming up. Might have to expand. Don't know. Just going on the seat of my pants. But I can tell you one thing, that we have great bourbon. We have great rum. We have a great Armagnac coming. The Armagnac has not sold out, but
I want to get my hands on that Armagnac, man.
No, I'll send you a sample. I got a 750 of it here. I'll send you. I don't know. I'm just ecstatic about 2021 for how great 2020 was in our world of bourbon, how shitty as it was for nationally and worldwide. I'm excited to get this. Get everything moving like it was. Let's get more people around the bar, and let's enjoy everything together and not virtually.
Absolutely.
Hold on. I don't even have enough liquor in there to cheers you. I'm actually going to pour a little of this Four Roses into this Santiago 11 Años.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.